It is very obvious that the recolonization of Nigeria at large Africa is ongoing. And this is something that many Nigerians and the whole Africans are still unable to unravel. But before we talk about how the Nigerian government has technically aided the recolonization of Nigeria and Africa at large, let's look at the history, how this came about from the late 19th century to the early 20th century, and how it all went wrong after they received their so-called independence in the 60s, of which since the return of democracy in 1999 in Nigeria, it looks like all has not gone well with the country, and again they find themselves in another colonization once again. Nigeria was ruled by the British Empire from the mid-19th century till 1960, when they gained her independence. We saw the struggle from Tafawa Balewa, we saw the struggle from Nnamdi Azikiwe, from the struggle to Ahmadu Bello, Akintola, among so many prominent Nigerians in the past who fought dearly for the independence of this great nation. But where everything went wrong from the beginning in the history was when the Southern and the Northern Protectorate came together in 1914. We could all understand that the northern part of the country is a nation of its own, while the southern part of the country is also a nation of its own with different cultural activities and beliefs. But with the amalgamation of these two heavy nations, it happens that Nigerians have never found its bearing since the amalgamation in 1914. However, in 2024, the Nigerian government has somehow helped the Westerners to recolonize the country once again. And this is the story of how the Chinese has captured Nigeria and also Africa at large. There is a certain man called Abdul. Abdul is a young Nigerian who is married to a beautiful wife. He had 2 kids, living somewhere in the southwestern part of the country. Upon hearing that the Nigerian government is embarking on some construction works in his own local region, he decided to apply to work with this particular Chinese company. In 2007, when he resumed work with them, it was documented that he had no ailment or any form of disease. But upon working with them for 3 good years, he found out that he could not breathe properly and having some certain pains in his chest. Upon rushing to the hospital, diagnosed to be having asthma, a situation that left him and his family in disarray. Fast forward to 2020, he could no longer continue with his job and he decided to pull off. But when trying to find out exactly what happened, how come did he find himself in this mess, he was told by the medical practitioners that the constant inhaling of dust in that particular place might have affected all components of his system, which have resulted into him having asthma. This is one among many stories of so many Nigerians that have passed through this kind of hardship in the hands of those foreign companies and foreign countries, who come here in the name of having a contract to execute in the country, and at the end of the day, you see them behaving like the country is still under their total control. The safety measures that are supposed to be taken were not taken at all. And this will now remind you of how Nigerians and Africans were colonized and how they were being used to explore the resources that are deposited in Africa and Nigeria, to be precise. The worst part of this whole drama now unraveled some days ago, where it was now revealed that a certain supermarket in the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, that is owned by a Chinese firm or owned by Chinese, that Nigerians are not allowed to visit that supermarket to shop for any reason. Upon trying to find out if it is true,
wonders shall never end. There is this supermarket I saw online. It's a Chinese supermarket. They have like Chinese stuff inside, food, ramen and other things. So I wanted to go there and check it out. And on going there, they told me at the gate, the security people told me the supermarket is strictly for Chinese people. If you are a Nigerian, you cannot go inside. You cannot buy anything. This supermarket is here in Abuja, in Nigeria, and a Nigerian cannot enter. This is a joke. So that means the Chinese guy has more rights than you here in Nigeria, because he can enter anywhere he wants, everywhere. There's no place that he cannot enter. But you, there's a market you cannot enter. It didn't shock me. I recorded a video, but because it was by the road, there was so much noise, so I had to do this other video. Let me show you the place. You see, that's the gate and that's the supermarket.
And now, after reviewing this, one may say this is just from one mouth, and then a group of people stormed the location.
This is the building. That's the Chinese restaurant, Chinese supermarket. That's it here. So January they stop.
This January they stop. Now they stop Nigerians to enter the supermarket.
Why? What's happening?
They're getting written notice. They're getting approval from government. They're getting anything there. Make them bring that decision.
That's what they know since January.
But before January, people they enter.
Before January,
last Nigerians they come inside before.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. My name is ASG.
We won't try enter the place. Maybe know how far. But we have that now. Our Nigerian people. Now then they sell baby. They are the ones selling in there. So if we go there, they might lose their job. Me, I was thinking we should just go and try to sell for us or not. But the security.
On reaching there, they were told by the security agents mounted at the entrance of the supermarket that before now Nigerians were allowed to enter this particular supermarket to shop, but recently they made a new laws without any form of explanation that Nigerians are no longer allowed to shop in this supermarket. When you bring this to the early 20th century and late 19th century, you will understand that the whole country and continent was enjoying themselves in their beliefs and whatever they want to do with their lives before the coming in of the Europeans. And when they step into the country, they don't really capture everywhere. It was a gradual process, and of which with time they were able to enact laws and separate, the whites from the blacks. And Nigerians and Africans passed through one of the most horrible situations in their life. And here we are in this modern era, happening right in front of us. But then, why is this happening? Why is it that the Nigerian government is allowing this to happen? They gave them all the necessary freedom to do whatever they want to do in the country, and probably that is the reason why they are capitalizing on this, and then they are trying now to suppress Nigerians. Do not forget that this current APC-led government within the last 8 years has been constantly borrowing money from these Asian giants. At a point in time, there was an allegation that Nigerians have signed off some of her assets in case they are unable to pay some of the loan that they have collected from the Chinese and the World Bank and IMF, which was debunked during the Buhari administration. But is it true? Will it one day come to pass? With this current happening now right in front of everyone in the Federal Capital Territory? Only time will tell. So what do you make of this? Do you now believe that Nigeria has returned now back into the colonial era that we find ourselves over 100 years ago? I leave this take to you at the comment section. Please do well to share your thoughts and share this video to reach a larger audience. Thank you for watching.